Have you seen this example happen, Gary, in your work with clients?
Sadly, many times, Aaron. I've seen it happen many times. And I've seen it caught in an audit. When the PPO plan can come in and do an Now, I remember when those audits used to be paper charts. They're auditing paper charts. Well, now they're auditing electronic records.
Right.
But they have the right to audit your records.
You cannot stop them.
No, you cannot. They have that right. It's in the contract. It's somewhere in that multiple 100-page contract. It's in there. They have the right. Now, that's like, having the IRS come in and sit next to you at your desk and audit your finances.
And if you have 10 PPO plans, that means you have 10 IRS coming in.
Right. And much of what they find, Naren, is unintentional fraud. Like
Humans make mistakes, right? I mean, like you put the wrong code.
It's unintentional.
Yeah.
So for example, we all know that most PPO plans have a 6-month wait. Let's use this has happened. I won't use any names, but this has happened. It's actually happened many times. So in their hygiene appointment, in order to be covered under the 2 hygiene appointments a year, there has to be 6 months in between. What happens if they come in 5 months and 29 days?
Denied.
Now, here's what's happened in practices. We have an opening in the hygiene schedule. The hygiene scheduling coordinator looks ahead to the next week. And let's say the opening is on Tuesday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And so she looks at next Tuesday afternoon and says, well, maybe that time works for Gary. Let's bring him in a week ahead. Let's say, hey, it turns out we can see you this week. Would you like to change your appointment?
Mm-hmm.
And let's say he does. And let's say the patient has some savviness around this, because sometimes they do. And the patient says, oh, but that's not a 6-month wait. Hey, why don't you just put on the claim form that I came in next Tuesday? Now, that's fraud. It's not gray.
This is black and white fraud.
Black and white fraud. Now let's combine this. What's the most dominant personality type, Aaron?
S's and C's.
S. S is the most dominant. 40% of the population is S. They are conflict avoiders. They will walk 100 miles around a conflict. So let's say your insurance coordinator is a high S, which, by the way, makes her very good at that job because she loves details. And now now the patient says, oh, just do this. Just change it. What could she do if she wasn't strong enough to say, no, I can't do that? That would be fraud.
Right.
And I cannot take the risk of my doctor's dental license. I won't do that. But a conflict avoider will say, oh, okay.
Right.
Same thing. What about the patient at the end of the year? Like, we're providing a procedure by the end of the year, and then we discover that they've used all their benefits. Mm-hmm. And maybe let's do it a different way. Let's say the patient isn't pushing this, but let's say your insurance coordinator thinks, oh, to help Betty. Yeah, we did the treatment on December 30th, but I'm just going to, because she's already used her benefits, I'm going to say we did it January 2nd. No, nobody gets hurt with that, do they?
Yeah, that's what they think.
I mean, that's what they think. And Betty, and then the office manager does that to help Betty.
Right.
It's good-natured. It was not malice. There was no personal gain attached to it. When we say fraud, we always think that there's some personal gain attached to it.
Right.
There's no personal gain attached to it. She's just trying to do something to help the patient. She's trying to be helpful.
Yeah.
Have
you seen this example happen, Gary, in your work with clients?
Sadly, many times, Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it happen many times. And I've seen it caught in an audit. When the PPO plan can come in and do an audit. And depending on the degree of it, and depending on whether there's other patterns or other things going on in the practice, it could result in a board complaint. It could result in further action, which could ultimately escalate to a point of a loss of licensure.